Okay, we are now exiting the ferry onto Fort Sumpter. There's the fort. There's the land. And here's the pier. Obviously, it's a pier. It just appeared here when we got close. Again, it cracked me up. It's a little bit overcast, but I guess it makes it cooler. The sun not beating down. There's the, what do you call those portholes? Gun holes, gun breaches, whatever they're called. Well, we got an hour, 15 minutes, I think, to see everything. Leaves at 10:55. I don't know what time it is now. 9:50, so an hour and 5 minutes now. Now that I've used the facilities on the boat because there's no men's room available. It's malfunctioning. It rolled a 12. Now it needs to be repaired. And here is the inside courtyard. What'd you call this? Parade grounds?
I don't know.
It's the big open area in the middle.
Yeah.
And the huge cannons. Don't have time to read things. I just have to take a picture and read it later. More big cannons. We don't have time to read that. We only have an hour.
I'm sorry.
I'll take a picture of it so I can read it later. There's not enough time to read.
Yeah.
Only an hour? And what would happen if I missed the boat? What's the penalty for missing the boat and just staying here for the next tour?
Well, you can either wait for the next one or swim, I suppose.
Yeah, probably $40 for the next tour. Looks like the ports for the cannons have been walled up. Well, they're doing the flag raising. Maybe I should go and see the flag raising.
Oh, thank you. Wait for the light.
You know, just take a picture of it and read it later.
Oh, sure.
You know, it's
You
like,
can do that.
okay, that's the gorge wall up here, and there's the 360 back to here. Okay, that's the In memory of the garrison defending Fort Sumter.
Where's the Mars Island?
Yes, sir.
Right here.
Yeah, of course.
So we used to see it from Charleston Harbor. I thought we always saw it. Maybe we didn't.
So that's the Morris Island Lighthouse, and then over here, behind here, it's in the middle of the water now. So there's like a project to continue to keep trying to save that lighthouse.
Yeah, and we've got a picture of it now. Somehow we were having trouble locating it here.
Mm-hmm.
Is the black painted for the new stuff that's...
It was originally black.
Oh.
Originally they had covered it with tar and linseed oil to weatherproof it. And it will go through changes throughout the course of history. At one point it'll be like a light colored camo, it'll be black, it'll be white. They change it, but black is what it originally was.
Oh, okay.
So we use now something like that's more modern, but it keeps the same
Protects from the
effect,
sea.
which is it
Salt.
weatherproofs it.
Yeah, I assumed it was all just brick and this was like new stuff.
This comes in 1898, so about 30
okay.
years after the Civil War is when they built Battery UG, which is this black structure.
How much of it was destroyed when the Union retook it? Is all this rebuilt, or is this?
No, so what you see here, this is what's left. So the fort is still active, so they'll go through and they'll continue, changing it. That's how we get this guy. But this is original, and these outer walls are original. So you're probably looking at least 80% original still.
Yeah, I went to Pulaski and Donaldson and all those.
Yeah.
Vicksburg.
Yeah, and Pulaski has rebuilt.
Yeah.
But this fort shows the true destruction of the Civil War. It was
I think it was only about 10% of Pulaski that was destroyed.
Yeah, they really never, you can see those holes, but Pulaski never really took too much damage, not like this fort did.
Yeah.
Where Fort Johnson stood.
Fort Johnson. No more.
No more, and that's
It was shot down.
Yep.
Doesn't seem that far to land,
Yeah.
But the
yeah.
cannon's...
Pretty far though.
A mile,
It doesn't seem like it now.
Mile to mile and a half. Yeah.
I know Martin Cannon was
Yeah.
easy. But
Oh, yeah.
back then that was a big one. So it had to be accurate.
Yeah. And they weren't rifled.
Right.
Yeah, rifling came during the Civil War, so the two cannons down here when you first walk in, the cannon right here on your left is smoothbore, and the cannon on your right, the Confederates actually took and rifled and brought it back.
I wonder where it
Both
is.
of them were here.
What? You wonder what? Where a deer is?
Okay, just going down the steps to the lower level. Well, lower of this part. Down into the parade ground. And then, I'm not sure what this is. Probably a mount for a huge gun. Battery Hooger. And then this is down to the sandbar. And I guess they're still working on that part. Here's the museum. Oh, wow. Excuse me.
Oh, certainly.
And it's Keanu Reeves. Right? Excuse me.
Somebody did.
I'll meet you back here.
I'll stay here.
I missed my history. Kansas was a state in 61. Oh, that was interesting. I have to study a little bit harder.
All the way up to the top, up to our third level. And that would have collected all the rainwater, would have cooled down in those cisterns so that they had fresh water.
If you see the clay pots, those are original 1861.
I was gonna say they look original, but I'm like, what were they for?
The little skinny black things that you'll see around.
Those are not.
The Army did something with them.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, but the terracotta is original.
Thank you.
Well, that's true. And then she goes, and I don't know about anybody there. Great. There.
Let's see, what about this cannon? 8-inch.
I understand where you're coming from.
Blockade runners. Ironclad attack. Star of the West. I think that was that steamboat that tried to reinforce. Yeah.
They want to do kitty stuff, you know?
Mountain howitzer. 12-pounder. Fort Sumpter bombarded. Swamp Eagle. There's the observation tower or post. This is the way back out to the ferry. I suppose an hour was enough.
I just need to know the names. More importantly, I just want to know who's your angel, who's your two singles players, and who's your two dogs.
There's the ferry. It doesn't look like that we can go out there, but it looks like there was a building out there. I'm not quite sure. They still have the porthole, or whatever that cannon pole. With the wooden caps. Different kind of powder room.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, mysteriously exploded.
Where's this?
Pounder.
So, because they could run the gun barrel out, the shutter was open, they could pull the gun barrel back in. and
Like
then-
this one, they have it towards the front of the rack. And as it would fire, there usually was a rope on the front. That was an extension, and then it would roll back. And as it rolled back, then the front crew would be there using.
I guess that's a cistern pipe or something.
Manifolds that we have been doing, brought it down here, made a big circle, you can kind of see pictures of it up there. And once that was all closed in, and they got rid of the water, filled it in with the sand, dirt, whatever they could find, and then they put these granite slabs all around the foundation so they could build with the bricks. Wow.
Every day for 22 months. What they put up with.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to just pick up repeated like 100-pound covers. Like, it's just crazy.
Is that's
Thank
Bono?
you for the information.
Bono? Oh, like the not like the singer.
Yeah, like the second.
Oh, like the singer. Okay, I thought it said
Well-
Bond. I was
well,
like, Dennis.
The early singers, Sonny and Cher.
Oh.
That singer, not
Oh, you're talking. Yeah.
not Bono.
The one that died in
The skiing accident.
skiing accident. Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Hit a tree.
I hit a tree when I was skiing.
Did you?
I didn't die. One leg went on the top of the tree, and one went because there was the branch going, sideways. But one ski went on top, one ski went on the bottom, so I couldn't get out and I couldn't go forward. And it was right underneath the ski lift too, so everybody could see me stuck there.
Yep.
All right, thanks.
The fort's basically a brick mirror.
Oh, it's like the Romans built with the two walls, and they filled it in with debris.
Well, no, first of all, they built the wall with tabby,
Yeah.
which is that material that you see there. It's concrete, but instead of using gravel, they used oyster shells.
Yeah, that's just like Pulaski.
Yeah, because they could not get gravel down here.
And there's plenty of oyster
So
shells.
there's 24 inches of tabby with 18 inches of brick on either side to make the 5-foot walls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's how the Romans did it. They did with the stones, and then inside they would just put just whatever. 'Cause that's why when you see the Roman walls broken, you'll see it's hollow on the inside with just, dirt and gravel and stuff. Well, they came up with that cement, that marine concrete or cement, whatever you call it.
And then there's a neat thing over here.
Oh, wow.
You see how this curvature of this wall?
Yeah.
If you can imagine that coming all the way around in a complete circle. Big round circle. And then there's a step, and there's a step, and you can see where steps were
Oh.
going out. This was a circular staircase that went up to the very top of the fort.
A spiral staircase right here.
This was an entrance from one of the barracks. Because all along here was a barracks, so they would just come out of here and then come to the gun stations here or up in any of the other 3 decks. If you look at that at the map, I don't know if you have one with you.
No, I gave it some.
You'll see a little label that says Tower Stair, and that's what this is.
Okay.
They should have like a bat pole in the middle they could just slide down like a fire department.
So where'd they get the granite from? Where'd they bring it in from?
That from New England.
New England?
Yeah. They had to bring it from New England.
What year was that?
Well, they started in 1829. And then around 1840, 45, they had the base done. And then by 1860, they had about somewhere between 75 to 80% of the fort was complete. The walls were complete, the buildings were all done and complete. If you came in here, you know, it would look like, from the outside, it looked like a totally finished fort, but if you look in, you'll see that there was a bunch of cannon barrels laying on the floor. There was no furniture in the barracks. There was no windows in any of the barracks. So there was kind of that house in a subdivision where it looks done till you look in the front door and a window, and then there's no cabinets in or nothing like that.
Was this in the second wave or third wave or of the forts?
Third.
Third. This is the third wave.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that the same wave as Fort Point in San Francisco?
Yes. And Alcatraz.
Yeah, been both of those places.
Yeah.
And Pulaski.
Yep.
Pulaski seemed bigger. I think it must have been bigger than Sumter.
Oh yeah, most of the forts were bigger than Sumter.
Did Robert E. Lee do Pulaski?
He did the drainage system at the beginning to drain it. He was there at the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Yeah.
That was like his very beginning of his career.
He was a lieutenant.
Yeah.
There's a group of us that have always talked about finding somebody, you know, pooling our money, chartering a boat, taking a boat trip down there.
Yeah.
The Keys?
Yeah.
I just went down to Key Largo. That's where the African Queen is. I took a ride on the African Queen.
I used to live there. I used to live in Rock Harbor.
Oh yeah. Did you ever go on the African Queen?
Nope. Didn't do that. I had my own boat down there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, they finally finished that one. They've been working on that one for weeks. They just got done with it, looks like.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot better than what it looks like underneath.
So are they gonna paint that black after, or are they gonna leave it that red, you think? You think they'll paint it black? Are you gonna leave it that red color?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they leave all the rust underneath?
No, they work and chip it all off, and then they put a white coating on it that's supposed to totally inhibit any more
Rust-Oleum.
rust. And then they use that color because that supposedly is the original color.
Oh, okay, that's cool. It seemed like if you took off all the rust, it would fall apart, you know? Because look at this one.
Yeah, this one's going to be a challenge.
That's the rust is what's holding it together.
Rusted out.
For the pin? It goes in there?
That would
Okay.
go all the way in there, and then there's a pin.
Oh yeah, that's the pivoting point, like the pintle mount.
Major Anderson first came out here in December. He only had 85 men, but there was embrasures for 135 cannons. So what he did was went over to the Charleston side and had his soldiers brick up those openings to keep people you know, from coming out in rowboats
Yeah.
and climbing through. And same way over here on the Fort Moultrie side. You can tell by the quality of the brickwork what was done by soldiers and what was done, you know, by bricklayers. Then, when they put in this battery in 1899, they closed the rest of them up when they filled this in with sand to keep it from flowing outside into the ocean. Yeah, the recoil would take it back. If the recoil didn't take it back, you put the stick in here and go back.
And then they take the big mop.
And then they would mop it to make sure that there were no sparks in there most of the time. All of the accidents would happen when they got in a hurry and didn't mop it and there was still a spark in there.
Cutting corners.
And they shoved a powder bag in there and it ignited. And that happened more than you would think out of not this particular gun, but the paired rifles. 75% of those did not survive the Civil War. They all exploded.
Which one here exploded? The 47th one? When they did the salute?
Well, yeah, we don't know whether it was in the cannon or whether it was just a powder bag.
Oh.
But a powder bag exploded.
Yeah.
Don't know where it was at, and nobody recorded it. Yeah, after you put the powder bag in, you ram it down, you put your shot in, your shell in, you ram it down, and there's a hole up here.
So they call that a touch hole?
Can you feel it right there?
Yeah.
It's a vent. Okay, you take a pick, it's a long brass pick, and you go in here and you shove it up and down about 8 or 9 times, and what that does is that punches a hole in the powder bag.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then you take what's called a friction fuse, which is the same diameter of that hole. It goes in there. Inside of that friction fuse is magnesium and gunpowder and a roughened wire that comes out into a loop at the end. That is put in there. You tie your lanyard on the end of that loop. Now that wire is roughened so that when you pull it, that wire comes out of there and it strikes that magnesium like you strike a match. And that hits the gunpowder, fires down into the bag, shoots out the...
Is that a one-time use thing? And then you have to get another one and then put another lanyard on. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's not this deal with the torch.
Yeah.
I said, boy, I was thinking, boy, that is kind of archaic. But in further reading, those fuses were reliable over 98% of the time.
That's more important, yeah.
Very seldom did you ever have a fuse misfire. But if you did, all you do is pull it out and go in.
Yeah. Yeah, the bad thing is if there's no spark.
Where's the shell in the wall, they said, that's implanted in the wall? Is that you, Ryan?
Okay, you go all the way to the end here till you come out at the other side, and you'll see the first one. In the next casemate, you'll see the second one.
All right, thank you.
You really can't miss it. Well, you can.
Well, and if it's over here, I'll miss it. If it's anywhere here and over there, I'll miss it.
So talking about fuses not going off. So I was stationed in Owensboro, Kentucky. We used to do the aids and navigation on the Ohio River. So we had a buoy tender. So we were on the buoy tender one weekend. One of the cooks on the buoy tender had had one of the old muskets from like the Revolutionary War that he made, kit deal.
Oh.
So we're standing
I need
inside.
to tell you, it's 9 minutes to the boat.
Oh, we got it. Oh.
How much time does it take to get from here to there? 9 minutes.
From the door to the boat's 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. So I should probably wander in that direction.
Which way are you going, Dan?
Oh, right there. Wow. It wasn't my blind spot. Okay, so it's right there. And where's the other one?
Right down there.
See it?
Yep. So you can miss it. Okay.
Like when they took the forms out, that's been undamaged. And then they put the bricks around it.
Huh. And it's Now time to go back on the ferry. I don't know if it was good to be cloudy or not.
Later on in the evening, it's gonna rain.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not raining. Ooh, there's an evergreen. Is that the one that hit the canal? Ha! It's the right company. Oh, don't leave without us. Okay, that's a little fort. What's it called? Fort Morris. It's got the flag up now. And then over here you can see the bridge. And the Yorktown behind that orange roof. Okay, there's the Yorktown. I'm not sure how small it is on the screen. Probably too much wind here to record. Ah, there's the evergreen behind the Yorktown. It made it under the bridge, looks like. There's a crossover in that island, or that sandbar. There's the Lafey on the right. You can probably see the Lafey on the right of the Yorktown. And the evergreen making it through under the bridge. It kind of looks like a blue angel on deck. Yeah, made it back to dock.